The Dragonfly Doji is a really fun little indicator to build and to operate on your expert advisor. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to do it. There's a few things that you need in order to be able to complete this episode. I really recommend you have a MetaTrader 5 terminal right next to you while you're building it. That will allow you to test it and make sure that it's working for you as we go. And secondly, you really need to have some sort of algorithm that you're working on. And it needs to have at least the init, DeInit, and OnTick functions. If you're interested, you can check out the algorithm I've been building on my channel, which is the RSI, but otherwise, build your own, totally fine. Once you've got those two things, let's get started. Let's calculate the Dragonfly Doji. Here's how we do it. Okay, so this is going to be our Dragonfly Doji Detector. Okay. Alright, to do that we'll say bool Dragonfly Doji Detector. Okay, and that's a double open, double close, double high, double low. Perfect. Alright, as with all the other dojis, the first thing we're going to do is calculate our body size. Okay, and we'll say double body size is there. Calculate our upper shadow. Okay, and get our point size. Now, if you've been watching the previous episodes, you'll know that we need to take into account what happens when we have a 0 body size. So we're going to do that. If the body size equal to 0. Get rid of that. Okay, get rid of this. Okay, put our little brackets, and then we'll have our else statement here. Okay, let's handle the case when it is body shadow 0. So if the upper shadow is 1 point or less, and the lower shadow is at least 4 points, return true. Now the reason why Copilot knew about that is because it's pretty much the opposite of the Gravestone Doji. So in the Gravestone Doji, we're looking at the lower shadow being quite small. In this one, we want the upper shadow to be quite small. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here. So if the upper shadow is 2 points and the lower shadow is at least 6 points, return true. So let's add that in. Okay, if those specific conditions aren't met, return false. On the other hand, if we have a body that is greater than 0, which is far more common, we want to make sure that the lower shadow is at least 4 times the size of the body. Okay. The upper shadow must be less than 5% of the, 10% of the total range. Okay, so what that's basically making sure is that the differential between them is quite small, and the body size must also be less than 5% of the total range. Okay. If those conditions are met, then we want to return true. Okay. Now we could add in another one in here, another return statement, but it'd be kind of pointless because there's no way for it to get to that in any way. Okay, let's compile that, make sure that it's all working. And using the values that we've got before, now we can check for our Dragonfly Doji. Save that and compile it. We'll head back to our MetaTrader 5. Okay. So now we've got no Doji Star, no long-legged Doji, no Gravestone Doji, and no Dragonfly Doji. Now this is pretty cool, and I hope that if you've just dropped in for the specific functionality, it helps you. But the truth is, we can actually do some really, really interesting stuff with this. For instance, we could create functions that allow us to detect certain types of dojis at certain different times and add that into our trading logic. We can also have a look at using the previous candles to see if that helps us with our decision making. In the next episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to do a few of those things. So check it out, and I'll see you there.